Guten Tag. Wie komme ich am besten zum Bahnhof, bitte? I bet you never would have guessed it was me, would you? What on earth is he doing now? Okay, well, what I just said was, hello, what's the best way to the station, please? And I said it in German. And if you're in Germany and you want to find the best way to the station, it's probably about as good a phrase as you could possibly use. If, however, you are in northern Italy and seeking a kilo of asparagus, or for that matter, in Seville and wanted a tattooist to put a small seagull just above your left buttock, wie komme ich am besten zum Rathaus, zum Bahnhof bitte, is absolutely no use at all. And it's not gonna, you're not going to communicate, and it's just going to put a barrier up, and you will not be able to be understood. So, why are you playing that way? Why are you taking this phrasebook approach to drumming and taking a certain number of patterns that you've learned, and they may be very good, but using them outside of an appropriate musical context? What I advocate with my students is that you actually break things down and just develop a bit more of an understanding of how the language works. And this has just come to me today, because earlier this morning I was doing an online session with one of my students, and he picked up a 16th note triplet groove off Instagram, and it was okay. It was a perfectly nice pattern, and he'd spent a lot of time practicing it, and so as a result of having done so, he could play one pattern one way. In the space of about 2 or 3 minutes, I explained to him what the component parts of that pattern were and how he could deconstruct it and really understand how the language works. And instead of just having like a 1-for-1 exchange rate with the idea that he'd taken from Instagram, looking behind the structure of the pattern and understanding how the language is put together, he was then able to go away and create endless patterns of his own, which in all probability would turn out to be better than the one that he saw on Instagram in the first place. So don't just learn phrases and grind them out irrespective of context. Really get to know the structure and mechanics of the language of rhythm and the language of drums. So until next time, auf Wiedersehen.